£30,000. That's how much we saved just on the roof. What's up guys, welcome back to my fixer-upper. This is a house now that I've been working on for about 12 months roughly. I'm going to show you today, inside, outside, what we've been working on, how much we've spent on it, how much we've saved. As I mentioned before, we saved £30,000 just on the roof. That's compared to getting a builder versus buying all the materials, doing it myself with a little bit of labor to help. So yeah, we're going to be having a look around, showing you guys what we've been up to. So how much this roof has actually cost then. When we got the quote from the builder, it was not just to do the roof, it was to build the house up to water tightness, including the roof. That was one of the elements of his quote. And he wanted £43,000 to put this roof on. What it's actually cost is near enough £13,000 to £14,000. So literally like 30 grand saving just on the roof, which is insane. The tiles cost, God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to run through everything and tell you exactly, but the tiles cost around 2 grand. The battens which go underneath it, which is part of the roof structure, they were like 700 quid. The felt probably spent about 500 quid. Spent £4,000 on labour. Lead, we probably spent about £500 on lead. And then all these fascia boards and timber, another couple of hundred on those. The actual structure itself, under the tiles that you can't see, the trusses, they are another £2.5 grand. So we've got this roof light here as well. This was about £500, and all of the guttering, which I haven't finished doing yet, it's actually surprisingly expensive. Spent about £500 to £600 on just plastic guttering. But we did go for the slightly nicer one. It's like called cast iron effect. So it looks like cast iron, but it's actually plastic. That cost is not including the solar panels. The builder's quote also didn't include them, so it's a like-for-like comparison. The solar panels have cost us around between £8,000 and £9,000. It's one of the more expensive things that we're going to install in the house, but we just thought with prices of energy going the way they are, and we thought that it would be a worthwhile investment. So we've got 6 panels here on the back, and we're going to put 3 on the front. So if you want, I'll go and show you where they're going on the front. They haven't been installed around there yet. Let's go check it out. We've got our rickety scaffold here as well. What we've done with the scaffold, instead of hiring it and paying for scaffolders to come and set it up, because what they do is they'll set it up and then they just charge you a weekly rate to have it on hire. And because this isn't a job where I'm getting loads of trades in to smash it out and do it fast, it had been up for months on end. So what I did was basically buy this scaffold that you can see here. My dad had some already and I bought the same again. It cost about £700, and then it'll be worth that probably when we sell it and when we're done, if we want to sell it. So it's basically free scaffolding. The only problem is you have to set it up yourself. But here, you can see here, these are the 3 solar panels that are going to go on the front. And you can actually see underneath them because they're not installed. So these are the trays that the solar panels fit into, and underneath those are the battens that I mentioned I spent about £700 on. So they're the battens that all the tiles fixed to, and that's what the solar panel trays have also fixed to as well. And because the front is obviously, it's the front of the house, everyone's going to see it, we're going to see it all the time. We've also put a LED flashing at the top and bottom of the solar panels on this side, compared to on the other side it's plastic. Doesn't quite look as good. So this is the old gutter, as you can see here. This is actually cast iron, and the ones that we've got, as I said, are plastic. They look like this, but they're not actually this. This weighs a ton, it's rusty, so I think plastic will be the way to go. This is all going to get ripped off and replaced. It's on order, it should be here in a couple of days, and as soon as that's here, that's one of the last jobs I've got to do on this scaffold before I can take it down. Access on this job, health and safety obviously, very important. Because I'm doing it myself, I'm able to sort of cut a few corners on that and just take a few risks, which is alright with me. But Evie on the camera here, struggling a little bit.
Oh my god, it's just a little bit of a drop down.
Alright, so we're inside now, and I want to keep this video about the costs so that you guys can gauge how much a job like this actually costs to do in the UK. So these are the trusses that I mentioned from the outside, the roof structure that costs about two grand. We put them up ourselves, so we did save some money on that. All of the brickwork for the extension, we did get, that's one of the few things we've actually had a specialist tradesperson in for. So we had a bricklayer come to lay all of these blocks. They charged £20 per metre to lay these blocks, square metre. So I think all in we paid around 3 grand. I'd have to double check, but it was roughly 3 grand for the bricklayer. Not a job that I wanted to take on by myself, but you can see these are all the new ones that have been laid, so it's the new extension. And as I said, back there, that's the old wall. That's the old part of the house where we've come away from, so you can see the difference there in that. Behind here, these are the openings for the windows. We have ordered our windows, and they're going to be coming in around 2 weeks from now, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. I'd have to check my diary, but they're coming shortly. The windows have cost us, and we've got 11 windows, and they have cost us £6,000. Yeah, The total order was 12,000, but that's because we've got 2 massive French doors included in the order as well. So just for the windows, 6 grand for 11, which is it's actually a good price. You can get cheaper windows than that, but we've gone for a high quality window. Still plastic, but it's made to look like timber. They're casement windows and they're flush, so good quality windows. And we've had a decent saving on that because our neighbour actually works for a manufacturer who produces these windows. Alright, and that's about it in here, other than the floor's now down actually. This is something that I've been doing over the last couple of days, this floor, and I'm starting to put these stud partitions up in here as well. So these timbers cost around £10 per 3.6 metre length. And I've got absolutely hundreds of them going in here, so that's a fair cost. I don't know what it's going to be at the end of the job yet, I'll let you know, because I have got a spreadsheet which I'm going to share with everyone at the end of the job to show exactly how much I've spent on different categories building the house. And the floorboards as well, these are more expensive than standard floorboards because they're tongue and grooved. Alright, so this right here is the glass, which is going to go into our glass roof light, which is going to be in the kitchen. The reason that it's in here is because we've had to render the other side of this wall before we get it in. I'll go around there and show you that just now. But yeah, this is the glass. It came unprotected, which I wasn't too happy about. Even the corners didn't have any protection on, so I brought it upstairs here, put it somewhere safe, out of the way, so that it doesn't get damaged. But yeah, I'll go around the other side here and we'll show you exactly where these pieces of glass are going to go. Alright, so we're now outside. This is the other side of the wall where we were just standing. And yeah, that's just been rendered. First coat's gone on, we've still got a silicone coat to go on top of that. And the render for this house is actually going to be super expensive. We thought we were being clever and saving some money in having it done in block work versus brickwork in the first instance. And we did have a significant saving on doing that because the blocks are cheaper and the labour to do it is cheaper. Labour for laying block work is £20 a metre, labour for brickwork is more like £90 to £100 a metre. So as you can imagine, a lot was done on this house. That would have cost a lot of money. But I'm not too sure that we're going to save much to be fair, because the render is super expensive as well. It's probably going to work out about the same cost. So the render just for this section right here was £800. Literally just for this tiny little wall here, which is such a small amount of the whole house. So I think all in it's probably going to cost, I think about £7,000–8,000 just to do the render, which is crazy really, but it is what it is. We've got to do it because now we've got exposed block work and it just looks skanky. You can't leave it like that. Beautiful downpipes here for the rainwater. That's actually meant to be connected.
State of the art.
To go over there. Yeah. The actual, the rest of the guttering's coming this week, so as soon as it comes, that'll all get connected and sorted out. But yeah, for the roof light then, the roof light's going to go where I'm standing now. These planks are covering a opening, which is where it's going to go. And the reason that hasn't gone on yet and it's inside this wall needed rendering, as I said, because once this goes on, you won't be able to get here to render that wall. The roof lantern, there are many different types of roof lanterns. You can either have a flat roof light, a roof lantern, which is basically a pyramid sort of thing, and you can get cheap ones, you can get expensive ones. We went for the cheaper end, but I still think it's going to be a really good product. It's costing us £1,500, which we got a decent saving on versus buying it direct from a reseller. If you bought it direct from a reseller as a normal person, I suppose it's £2,000, but I set up a trade account with the manufacturer direct, so I got a decent saving on that, and because it was my first purchase with them, I also got 10% off, so happy days. Next up then, so many things to talk about, so many costs. I probably won't cover it all in this video, but this next part I'm going to talk about is this flat roof right here. Not this is some temporary sheeting that's covering the hole, but this actual rubber roof here, this I bought a kit online. Basically it come with a kit with all the trims, which you can see here, all these trims, all the corner pieces under here for the upstand around the roof light and everything. All in, that was about £400 for the materials, and that's something that I did myself with a bit of help, so there was a slight labour cost on that, around about £300 on labour to help me lay that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result, to be fair. It's like a light grey. It was meant to be black. When it's cleaned down, it'll probably look blacker, but yeah, light grey colour on the top. No one's ever going to see it anyway, apart from in that bathroom. So the roofers who did the main roof didn't want to touch that. I think it's too risky. Flat roofs obviously more at risk of leaks, so they didn't want to do that. But yeah, and just up there, there's another flat roof section I'll show you as well. So just up here, this flat roof up here needs a bit of a wash down because the roofers have only just finished, but that's done in fiberglass with a bit of lead here to see the water down into the rain water pipes. But yeah, that one up there, that's actually something that my dad had in stock. Well, not in stock, but he had some spare from a job that he did on his house. So I didn't pay anything for that, and he come to help me lay it, so that was free. Happy days. Cheers, Dad. One of the other costs that is actually not considered sometimes on a job like this, because some people who do this sort of work already have all the tools, but we didn't have many tools. I have had to invest in some tools, such as this self-leveling laser, lots of different things. So I super love the Ryobi tools. This is a radio of theirs, and the decent thing about all of their tools is the batteries for everything. The radio, batteries go into it. Circular saw, same battery can come out and go into the radio, so happy days. Got a drill, tons and tons of Ryobi tools, which are just brilliant. We've got a circular saw, not a circular saw, a miter saw over there, which is quite new. I'm using that a lot. Impact driver, that's been amazing because previously I was just using the standard drill, so the impact driver has helped a lot. I've got a ton more tools in the van, but yeah, that's another significant cost. We've probably spent about 500 to £1,000 on tools. All right, let's go downstairs. There's not been as much progress downstairs, so not as much to show you, but I'll quickly do a quick run through, and then you'll be able to see in the next video the progress from now. So down here, as I said, not that much progress that you can see. The steels have all gone in. We've spent about, to be honest, I can't remember what we spent on steels, £2,000 to £3,000 I think they were. It was so long ago now, that's like at the beginning of the job. All the concrete in the floor, again, not a cost that many people would consider, but you've got the concrete, which we probably spent about £2,000 on. Underneath the concrete there's MOT, which is like hardcore. We spent about £300 on that, I believe, which is just compacted sub base for the concrete to then go on. Concrete also in the foundations, in the new extension and everything, so a lot of work went into the ground, and there's a lot of money down there that people don't even consider. All this timber here, as I said, we're going to need hundreds of lengths of timber in this house. So I just had a delivery yesterday, that's why that's in here, and it's still a bit of a mess. I've got to go upstairs to build all the stud walls. These here, blocks. These blocks cost, I think, but again, I can't remember, about £1 each. They're thermalite blocks. They're more expensive than normal concrete blocks, but they have a better thermal value, so they're better if you want to keep your house nice and cozy, which Evie definitely does. These blocks right here are sat here because we're going to be building this porch outside. So this right here, this is going to be the porch. I've already got the trench blocks in, so you can sort of see the outline shape of the porch. And yeah, and that's basically what those blocks are for over there. Need to get this scaffold down before we can build it though. Okay, tiles as well. If you're going to buy a house like this and want to do it up, you're going to be spending a lot of money, as I said already, on the roof. This is an old property built in the 1930s, and nothing had ever been done to the roof. So we had to completely strip the roof, re-roof it, buy new tiles because we built an extension around the back as well. And I actually over-ordered on the tiles, so I've got a load to spare here. But what we've done is around the back, because you can't really see the back, we've put the new cheaper tiles on the back, and all these ones that came off we're going to put on the porch here so that it all blends in. We've put these ones on the front as well. They're all the old original Staffordshire blue tiles, and whatever's left over we're going to try and sell. They're £1.20 if you want to buy them, but if you're selling them you're probably only going to get like 40p if you're lucky for them, because that's just how it goes, even though I've already palleted them up. But yeah, again, that's about it, to be honest. The windows are coming in a couple of weeks. We've still got some of the old ones in here which need stripping out. But I'd say in the next couple of weeks, by the time I make the next video, there's going to be some big visual progress to be seen around here. Just to summarize on the price then, basically to get up to this point, minus the porch which isn't yet built, but all the materials for it are here, the builder wanted to charge us £100,000 plus VAT, so £120,000. That's not including the windows or anything, which I've already paid for, and they're included in the price that we've spent so far, which is around £45,000. Literally less than half to get to this same stage. The only difference is they would have got to that stage in March. So March, April, May, June, July, August. That's an extra 4 or 5 months. It has taken me a long time, but yeah, weekends, evenings, days off, you know, you get in here, you do as much as you can, save a lot of money. So I'm excited, and I hope you stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.